Hi, my name is Taylor Hunter, and today I'll be talking to you about the project that I did on the film Life and Debt. And here's the cover for the film. And a little bit about this film. It was directed by Stephanie Black, and she made this film to inform the audience about the trade policies in Jamaica and how that's really having a negative impact on their country. Here's an article about it and a Facebook post. In this picture, it just shows that they still have dealings with the IMF and they're still struggling for it. So, a little bit about Jamaica's financial situation that was mentioned in the film. It started off by talking about how they gained their independence from the UK. They are no longer on under British colonialism. And their economic system was unstable because they're now independent. They have to have new systems and to grow as a country and an economy. And after despite all of this, they were deeply in debt. They had a lot of money to pay off, and they were fighting with their debt and the new economy. And during this time of economic stress, the International Monetary Fund, they had a few dealings that really put them in a worse situation, but helped in some ways. So one thing they did was devalue the Jamaican dollar. This really worsened their economic status because the economy was already frail, and they also to have these dealings with the International Monetary Fund. There were many restrictions put in place and things they had to agree to even get a loan from them, a loan in which had a very high interest rate. So it would probably be very hard for them to even be able to pay that back. Some of these restrictions included opening up trade. By opening up trade to other countries, this allows them to not have any as many restrictions like tariffs and things like that to do trade in that country. And because of this, more people from other places were trading in Jamaica. And while that sounds like a good thing, that also messed up the life of many of the people who lived there. They no longer had ways to keep themselves afloat financially. People who had farms and just produced, they were self-sustaining. Their stuff was no longer selling because everybody else was buying the imported goods because they were cheaper. And this really messed up the entire economy even more than it was already suffering. This left many people out of jobs, and many people, if people weren't left out of jobs, they were getting paid very little. This also made the country reliant on imported goods, and that's not good because imported goods cost money to get there, and that could cause a lot of issues. The country also did export a few goods. One of the examples they had was bananas, but even then, the people who were doing business with them, like for example, the United States, companies in the United States, they stopped doing business with them because they could go somewhere else and do get somebody to do the work for cheaper, even though the people were not getting paid that much to begin with. And there were also spaces where they had a free zone to work, and some people were getting paid less than $1 a day, and they really just could not survive. This is a video about hitting costs and Jamaica debt. This is a tweet. This video really uncovers about a lot of the debt and issues. The cinematography in the film, it was very great in my opinion. It was nominated for awards from like the Environmental Film Festival and the Prague Human Rights Festival. The director, Stephanie Black, she made this film purposely not objective because she really wanted to show how the people of Jamaica felt about the predatory trade practices and just show how it's affecting them. And I think the film really did capture the life in Jamaica really well. It showed the contrast between what you see as a tourist and what the locals see and how different that can be. It really showed like how things may not be what it seemed. And also the music. The music was used all throughout the film to really add to the atmosphere. It talked about the themes of the dead, and it just really helped tie the film together. Here's a article about the debt, the movie. Emotional impact. I really did feel emotionally tied to the film because there were many interviews throughout the film. The interviews showed the people's experiences and how it was affecting them, and I really felt really saddened about everything that they were going through. And it changed my perspective on tourism as a whole. Jamaica was one of the countries that I really wanted to go to one day, and just seeing what goes on behind the scenes is just something to keep in mind. And when you travel and know what the people there are going through while you're maybe on vacation. This is this tweet about how long they've been dealing with IMF and culture and politics. I see that Jamaica, even though they're going through all that hardship, they are still standing firm with pride in their country and thriving. The music, you could tell throughout the film with the music and creative expression, they were apparent all throughout it, despite all the hardship you could see them going through. There was still a sense of community and culture and willingness to fight against what is keeping them down. And they're just fighting for their community and their country. So that was really nice to see. And also, I could see how predatory many of the practices are towards Jamaica, specifically from the United States and organizations like the IMF. But that's just something that I observed.